And we talked about this a little bit with Vinny Goodwill of Yahoo, but there's a lot of buzz about James Harden. And he even said he's frustrated with the situation in Brooklyn. Obviously, it hasn't worked out the way he envisioned, Rob. And there's rumors and reports about, he may wind up in Philly. There's one report saying that's the overwhelming sentiment in the league. Now, that's just a bunch of executives who don't know saying that they think Harden's going to end up in Philly. It's not a fact.
Well, but because of Daryl Morey being there. I mean, I get it. I mean, you just try to connect the dots. People are talking, like you're trying to figure and look into things. Like, could he wind up going there? You know what I mean? He's with his former general manager, all kinds of stuff. It makes sense to, like, speculate of him going there. It ain't like people are saying, oh, he's going to
Lakers, even though he's from there,
somewhere, right? Or he's going to the Pelicans,
Clippers,
or something like that.
Well, what is your thought? Look, I get it, Rob. James Harden didn't sign up for this, right? Now, I mean, nobody did, but he's a superstar, and he chose to go to Brooklyn. And you can't blame KD. I mean, you're hurt. You're legitimately hurt. You're hurt, right?
But he's like he's not playing, right?
Right, but he's been hurt. Like last year, I mean, he wasn't there most of the regular season. Obviously, was there in the playoffs was there.
I've never seen anything like it. Like I've never seen anything like it for basketball where nobody can stay healthy. Yeah,
right.
I've never seen it. I've never seen like you can't get through a season like it just seems weird to me. Because, we watch some of the other guys play and Jordan and whatnot and great players who never got hurt. And I just, it's mind-boggling how often, and a lot of it, they're fudging the rules, fudging the injury report to have nights off. So sometimes it's not real, Chris. You know what I mean?
Like maybe tonight with Harden.
Yeah, tonight.
They better hope it. I hope it's fudging it.
But that could be
I
a
hope
fudge.
that hamstring's not bothering him.
But you know what
again.
I mean?
I think it is a fudge. I think it's definitely a fudge.
Coming off of last night and everything.
Yeah.
He don't want to play back-to-back. It could be. But anyway, my point is, a lot of things just haven't gone right. And everything is still going to come down to what happens in the postseason. You know what I mean? And where they are. If this thing doesn't work out and guys are hurt and they flop and they don't get to where they're going to go, then there more than likely will be a change. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, and look, KD, I wouldn't call KD injury prone, but he's had several injuries in his career. There were times he sat out, large chunks of the season and playoffs in Oklahoma City. Obviously, he missed the season, his first in Brooklyn. And now he's got this. Now, this is just, it's a MCL sprain or something. Like, it shouldn't be that bad, hopefully. Like, he's supposed to be back in several weeks. But still, I get why Harden is frustrated. And beyond that, it's obviously the Kyrie thing. And Rob, Harden has mentioned it a few times now. Remember, we talked a few weeks ago when he mentioned it. I think maybe seemed like he thought Kyrie might come back. But he's still mentioning it, even as Kyrie has said he's not getting vaccinated. So that is a definite source of frustration for him.
And maybe the Nets made a mistake. Maybe the Nets made a mistake in going backwards on it.
To Kyrie?
Yeah, because maybe, I'm just saying, I understand, Chris, what they were trying to do. Yep. But maybe just the in and out and not having a flow and, you know what I mean?
They're only four, Rob. They're 4-3 with Kyrie.
Yeah.
Like him playing it. So that's not great.
That's what I'm saying. That's not great. Like that, they should be better. They might have made a mistake. You right?
I just thought
just for continuity.
Right. And from the beginning, I thought that was the way to go is, look, you can't have this dude popping in and out of the lineup. But then I thought they don't look good enough without him to win it. And this is their best shot. But maybe it wasn't the right move. I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we don't know. But
right
now, Chris, right?
It's not looking great.
If we looked at the first 7, it ain't. It just ain't.
4-3. And again, I understand why Harden's frustrated. And Rob, look, Joel Embiid has injury problems too, right?
You
and
might
that's
go,
part
you
of the
might,
reason
you might go there. You might go there and he can't
It's
play.
the same thing.
Right,
There's no question. I mean, that's part of the reason people think, look, man, you better trade Simmons now because you don't know when Joel Embiid's knees are going out or anything, right? And I get it. But right now, if I'm Harden, Rob, and look, I would be professional and try to win it with Brooklyn, of course. But you darn right, I'd be thinking I'd be very open to going to Philadelphia next year.
My thing, you just said it. If I'm Harden, Chris, all I want is to win one championship. This might be my best. If everybody can be healthy, the chances of 2 of the 3 guys being hurt like they were a year ago, I'm just saying, aren't good, right?
But it's always remember last year they were always in and out of the lineup.
Right, but if you can put it together, win a championship, then you could do whatever you want. Once you have that in your back pocket, I don't think Harden needs 3
That's what
championships,
Durant did.
Right? To feel like to validate your career.
One.
He needs one, Chris. He's not going to be in a conversation with LeBron
top 10 or something. Right.
He's not in that conversation.
Right.
He just wants to get one, and this might be the best one. You go to Philadelphia and Embiid or something, or Doc Rivers chokes down a 3-1 lead or whatever it is, then you'll be like, what did I do? Right?
Well, look, nothing's guaranteed.
Right.
But I would get why he's frustrated. And I would say this too, Rob.
No, the frustration part, I get it.
won't poo-poo, especially all they've been through, I won't poo-poo a championship with Brooklyn, right, with that big 3. But I do believe, Rob, that if he went to Philly, let's say they don't win it this year in Brooklyn, and he goes to Philly, and he and Embiid win it, I do think that's a little more impressive because it was a big 2 that did it versus an historic big 3 in Brooklyn. What are your thoughts on that?
So that again,
I think winning the championship in Philly with Embiid would be more impressive than winning it in Brooklyn with KD and Kyrie.
It just depends on how it plays out. But
I'm just saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got 3 Hall of Famers versus 2.
Yeah, I guess you would get more credit if that happened. But
just like if LeBron, his title in Cleveland, you know what I mean, was more impressive than the 2 he won in Miami.
Yeah, in Miami. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that would be fair. But this is going to be it's just a weird basketball season. We're both trying to get to the All-Star game, right? You're going to be there on Saturday or whatever?
Yeah, I get in like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving. I'm only going to be there
just for that
a little over 24 hours.
And then leave on Sunday before get back home.
Because I got to get back before the game to watch it. Then I got to
show
in the morning. Right.
Right. Okay. I'm going to try to stick around until after the game and come back Monday. But I'll be back Monday for the show. So I don't know. What about the All-Star game real quick? Where are you? Is it any
terrible.
interest? Yeah,
it's horrible.
Chris.
I mean, last year it got better. Like they've instituted these new rules that make it a little bit more competitive. But Rob, I remember. And people used to even complain about it back then, which I thought was wrong. But Rob, I remember like from the time I was a kid,
right,
to I feel like the sea change was 2014. But up until that point,
it was something that you wanted to watch.
They were competitive. Heck yeah, I wanted to watch. Like the games were competitive. They played a little bit of defense, especially in the fourth quarter. And it meant something to be the MVP.
And then all of a sudden, it turned into a lot of different things. Remember when, if you were from that city, Chris, they would force you the ball,
try to get you that MVP.
To get you the MVP. And I thought, I could. Was it Glenn Rice? And was it that they did
Rice
that too?
won it in Cleveland when I cut. That was the year all
right, but isn't he from Ohio? Isn't he from Ohio?
No. He played at Michigan. I don't know where. I can't remember where he's from originally.
Check it out.
I think he's from Flint. I think he's from Flint.
Is he?
Michigan. Yeah, he's not from Ohio.
Okay, I thought
from Flint.
I remember one year they were trying to force.
Well, they tried to do that, but I think those were good though. They tried to do it with Kobe. Kobe won it in Philly. Glenn Rice,
a couple of them, yeah.
But I think, Rob, what happened, and I remember very specifically, it was 2014. It was in New York City, and Russell Westbrook won the MVP in a game where it was like, who cares who wins the MVP?
Right,
because there was no defense. There were wide open dunks, the drives to the basket. Nobody's near you, and you're dunking, and there were threes. And I look back at it, Rob, and what happened was the number of three-pointers attempted jumped from like 80 total two teams,
right,
from like 80 to well over 100. They went to 108, then the next year 120 something, then 130 something. And when you're shooting all threes, think that's 75, that's 73s per team, 65 to 73s per team. It just ain't a basketball game.
Right. And
it's like, I don't know what the heck you call it, but it ain't basketball.
And then we went through a couple of years where the score almost, Chris, went to 200. You remember that?
Right. Which clearly there's no defense.
Right. That's not basketball. The scores were almost, and I kept waiting for them to hit 200 to even see if they had a 2 where the 1 is, for 100.
You're
I want to see
no,
if
that
they
was
had a 2.
And I don't think they do. I mean, who knows these new scoreboards, but
yeah, they might. Do they have a 2?
I don't. Obviously, the old time ones don't. We got them the same ones in mind, right?
Right.
Where they don't have a 2. I would guess that these do.
New ones do, yeah.
But
probably.
Rob, you're right, and that it just. I'm sorry, and I have always loved the All-Star game. I've always loved to see. I mean, dating back to Isaiah Thomas, is he going to put on a dribbling exhibition and the alley-oops he would throw and the dunks? But, Rob, a game dunk is really only good when there's resistance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like dunking on somebody, not just wide open.
They, to the basket. Right.
Anybody can do that for you. Yeah, come on.
That ain't
all right.